welcome to my YouTube channel once again. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope that you will stick around and make this your little family, become part of my YouTube family. And if you are a returning subscriber, oh my gosh, you know I've got like a huge space in my heart for you guys. So thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for subscribing, and all of that good stuff. So anyway, as you can see, I am not alone today. I am with a special somebody. And I'm so excited because it's been a long time coming, you guys. It's been a long time coming. So before I take over the show and talk too much, I want you to please introduce yourself.
Okay.
Tell us who you are, what you do. Yeah.
Okay. I am Zohra Edith Matundu, also known as Lp Zee. I'm a pastor, and I also work as corporate services manager for Word of Life Ministries International. So in short, to start off, that's me. I am on the verge of also becoming a talk show host.
Yeah.
Yes, for a talk show called Beautiful Ashes, and it's been a dream of mine that has been in the burner for a long time. So be on the lookout for that.
We so are. I am so like on the edge of my seat. Like I can't wait. I really can't wait. Awesome. And a mother. You're a mother.
Oh yes.
To my two of my favorite little people.
Don't take me there. Yes, so I am a mother to the two M's. My daughter, our daughter, because obviously I'm a mother with somebody. I did these babies with somebody. So I am a wife to Reverend Ruben Matundu, my beloved, love of my life. Oh yes. So
goals, hashtag goals.
And we've been blessed with two beautiful, awesome children. The firstborn is Michaela Angel Matundu. She's 9 years old. And the second, and I won't say last, second born is Malik Giovanni Matundu, and he's 6. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. Guys, like, when I hear people talking like that, I'm like, it's gonna be me someday.
Definitely.
Amen. I receive it.
Definitely.
Okay. I have 1,000,001 questions. I am a talker. She's also a talker, but we're gonna do our best to keep this video kind of within a good time frame. If you can see from the title of this video, today we are talking about life as a pastor's wife. And it is quite the topic. Why did I pick Pastor Zohra for this? Because I think she is the perfect candidate for this topic. If you don't already know her, just go check on Facebook. You will find her because she is very active on the Facebook streets. I think in this country, honestly, when I look at just who you are, a lot of times I think to myself if we had a Sarah Jakes in Malawi, this is who it is.
Oh my God, I'm humbled. I'm too humbled.
Yeah,
thank you. Those are goals for me. Oh yeah, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we're talking about being a pastor's wife, and first thing I want to know, I want to find out from you, why do you think this is a relevant topic? Why are we talking about being a pastor's wife? Is it different from being the wife of anybody else? I thought about this and I was like, why is it important for us to talk about that? Because they're wives, and this topic is not life as a wife, and that is important in and of itself. When you become a wife, your life changes.
Oh yes.
There's a whole bunch of things that change.
Yeah.
But what is it really about being a pastor's wife that you would say is different or is important, is relevant for us to talk about?
Awesome. I'm so glad that we're talking about this. I've wanted that there should be a lot of material on it. Being a pastor's wife is a high office. That's the first thing I would like to say, and that's why it's different from just being someone who is not a pastor's wife, because just like, when we look at first ladies, it's an office. So while the president's wife is, it's like a high office in the government gate, you would say that being a pastor's wife is a high office in the church gate. So it's not just you have people looking up to you. You are in the public. It's a public office. That's why we should get like extra grooming, even like the moment. I know like there's always a fad, like there's always a wave. You find that maybe at a certain point something is the coolest thing or is the vibe to like, okay, every young lady would be like, I would want to be maybe a musician's wife, and it would be like that's the fad at that point in time. Is something going, it's a trend, it's trendy. So and being a pastor's wife, I feel that now it's like actually almost like a trend for young people. They feel like, oh my God, I want to get hooked up with a pastor and get married to them. But sometimes it's done naively and ignorantly. Like you just don't know, what are you talking about? So for me, the first thing, like I said, it's a calling. It has to be a calling. It really has to be not something that you are just doing because everyone else in church or in your family
it's
the trendy thing. Oh, they're getting married to, and maybe it looks like it's a glamorous life, but that's not all there is to it. It's not just something, and so it's a topic needing to be discussed again, because somehow it's mysterious. It's not, it hasn't been out there. We haven't been like celebrated or as pastors' wives, and I don't know, because of the spiritual aspect to it, it's also got its own opposition, and for me, I would say there's a spiritual aspect on top of just the extra high office that it carries, that is warfare. And just before you even get onto there, you're already facing a lot of opposition. For me, the issue was from the get-go. People get to know me, I guess, but yes, from my background, even within my family, no one expected that I would get married to a pastor, and also that I would be called to pastor ring. That wasn't, when I was thinking growing up, oh, what job am I going to do, or what am I going to study at varsity, or I just did not, I chose business science, I did economics. I did not see myself at all that, oh yes, I'm going to one day be a pastor or marry a pastor.
Wow.
So that's what I would start off and say. Yes, definitely relevant.
Wow, as you were talking, I'm just like, Lord Jesus, I wish I could like take notes of some of the things you're saying, because you've really gone deep, and I feel like there's so much that you've said that I really just want to unpack a little bit more.
All right.
A lot. It's a lot. Okay, I feel the anointing. You actually went into my next question, which was going to be, did you ever see yourself being a pastor's wife? Did you see your life taking that turn? Did you not? Did it come as a surprise? So take me through that first, and then I'll try to backtrack and unpack some of the things that you mentioned.
No, I did not. No, I didn't. I got born again. I had my expectations. Yes, I was. Now, when it came to thinking about, marriage and who I'm going to get married to, in my head, even as I was praying about it, I had an idea of like, who I thought would work with me. Yeah, so it was going to be someone, yes, who is very much a very fiery Christian, on fire, and spiritual, but I expected it would be somebody maybe in the corporate world, because by that time I was working for Airtel Malawi. So I was like, okay, it would be somebody like that. And then, looking at, what I was in my dreams, what I was thinking I was going to do, in terms of a career and all these things, I really did not even picture myself. But all I knew was it had to be somebody who was very much serious about, God, because I just jumped in. So I didn't expect it at all. It wasn't that. I expected that, oh yes. But I'm even surprised at people who, when you ask them, they know I would want to marry a pastor. But, I mean, everyone's journey is different, but for mine it was a surprise to even me.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I have to say, in adding to that, is that yes, it has, for me, the first thing has to be you finding the person for you. Yes.
So good.
Yes, that's so what you should be praying for in a husband, not please bring me I know, like, have already a set plan. And that's, I think, one of the things that God spoke to me about when I was now sussing out my husband to be. So it's like, no, renew of mind. It has to be you finding the right person, and then if they happen to be a pastor, then
that's so good.
Let's handle that then.
Good. Wow, I'm so glad you said that, because even for me, it addresses like just being single, not being married at this moment in life, and just loving God and serving God. There is that expectation.
Oh yes.
If you're so on fire for God, then you naturally, I don't know if I should say naturally, I don't know if you guys can relate. If you can relate, comment in the section below.
Yes,
let me know if you felt that way as well. Like, as a passionate young Christian, I think that has been
the pressure.
Where it's like it has to be a pastor. If it's not a pastor, then I don't know, the vision for ministry, I don't know what that looks like. So I'm so glad that you addressed that,
Yes, because for me, I was actually like getting to a place where I was like, I was looking in church, actually. I was looking in church to see, like, is there the church I belonged to then? And it was a young church. So I was looking like, come on, no one day. I didn't see anyone who was, I could even already see a connection with. And I was like, oh my God. But then the other people who are not in church here, I was like, they're not as spiritual as I want them to be. So yeah, there was that issue whereby, in a way, I was getting a bit concerned. Like, who will it be? Is there going to be somebody who, I'm going to connect with? Yeah, and then for me, I was already in my 30s. So it was also like, guys, who is it going to be? Yeah. And then there was obviously the extra also pressure from outside. Like, people who were looking at me like, dude.
Time is ticking. I totally get that. I want to go back to your first answer when we were talking about why this topic is relevant. You mentioned opposition.
Yes.
You mentioned being a pastor's wife being a high calling, and that it comes with certain opposition.
Oh yeah.
I want to know a little bit more about that. What does that look like?
Okay.
What opposition have you faced?
Yes.
And just maybe even generally, if you can speak into that.
Okay.
This is kind of what attacks this this calling, or this this life.
All right. So there is an expectation. Any public office, all eyes are already like on you. And I think even people, if for instance your husband already is maybe heading a church, maybe it's easier maybe for an assistant pastor, but if it's somebody who is at the top and they're the ones who maybe started the church and stuff like that, they already have got a congregation, there are people, the members are already are maybe even looking they already have somebody in mind or some expectation that, okay, our pastor will marry somebody like this. Yeah, so...
Sorry, I'm just going to cut you there just a bit, just to give context for those who don't know your story. So I want you to just explain, did you meet your now husband as a pastor already? Had you started his own church?
Yes,
did you start the church together?
Yeah, so no, I met my husband as a pastor already, a young pastor. He was he was in his 20s. Yeah, and
because now you've been married
for 11 years.
Oh.
Yeah, this
goals,
is our
hashtag.
Yeah, this is our 11th year. Oh God, it's been God since day one. Yeah, so we were living in different cities. He was in Zuzu, I was in Lilongwe, and again, like I say, I was working in the corporate world, and he was in church. Yeah, so no, he was already a pastor, and I wasn't a pastor, but yeah, very active in church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So back to opposition.
So, like I said, yes. So people have got expectations, and then traditionally, especially here in Malawi, the evangelical charismatic churches are young. We are very young. Yes, it's very young compared to the
more
traditional churches. Yeah. So in terms of those of us coming in now and getting married, it's already, there's an expectation, that a pastor's wife is supposed to act like this, look like this, and do these kind of things, and kind of like that. So it's like you're already coming to a place where, if you are different, I mean, for instance, I've got dreadlocks.
Dread sisters. Hey.
Yes, and
that's not normal for the. I don't know if I should say not normal, but it's not the. It's not the normal look that you see for the Malawian pastor's wife. It's not.
So I'm a bit extra on me. I guess that's why I'm even excited that, okay, you chose me, so that's good. Because, I mean, now, yes, you can see more of those. But, I mean, traditionally I was not a churchy person. I haven't grown up. I've grown in church, got away from church, and became very worldly. So that's why I'm saying that when coming to the church, it was like very new territory for me. So but again, it's like I was saying, it's a calling because God knew, and He prepares you for it. And you should be willing to then again, like I'm saying, everything about this being a pastor's wife, you have to come in very open-minded, and you have to. It has to be something that is really meant to be for it to happen. But the opposition is that you come in and there's really there's pressure and expectation on your head, which is, it's valid, it should be there, but you should be prepared by God for it, and you should have the right mindset for it, that it's not, you're not just there for maybe what the outward things. There'll be things in the background that you will have to definitely learn, be ready to learn, and be prepared for to do. But there is going to be the opposition is stemming mainly from maybe those people who did not see you coming, or just traditionally the expectations for that office.
Wow, so good. So many things that you're saying that this video would be too short.
We need a part two.
I was literally just thinking that as you were talking. Especially because, in the beginning you mentioned that this content, there's not enough of this content. So even when I was preparing for this video, I was trying to see, okay, what is actually already out there on YouTube, on the internet, about being a pastor's wife. And to my surprise, I actually expected to find a lot.
Really?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did. And I was surprised that actually it's not that much. And that kind of, I don't know if I should say broke my heart, but it made me a little bit sad because, as you mentioned, that it is something that requires you to go into soberly and knowing what you're doing.
Yes.
And maybe a little bit more counseling is needed, you know, for people who are going to step into it.
Yes.
And so there's not enough of that. But yes, maybe a part 2 will be there. It will be so important to have more conversations on this, especially for those who are going to step into it, or maybe want to step into it, just to know, like, okay, if this is what I want, this is what I'm signing myself up for. Yeah. You touched again, you are literally just like hitting every point that I had, and mind you, I did not show her my notes before this video.
I was actually worried. I was like,
killing it. I wanted to go into, you talked about pressure, expectation, and all of that you experience as a pastor's wife. I want to know about your identity as you, you know, as Zohra, before the Lp Zohra, before the pastor's wife Zohra, just you as a person. Like, how do you find yourself in the midst of, especially because you have a husband as a pastor's wife, your husband is kind of always center stage.
Yes.
He's kind of always the focus, the attention is really mostly on him.
Yes.
And so you know what happens to you as a person. How do you find, or how did you find yourself? How did you maintain your uniqueness, your identity, and still support him and still be one with him in his ministry and what he's doing, but also still be yourself?